Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Sheik Luch, LOXD Block, Silverback. Hey, yo, right now I need to shout out the ISUPK classes.
I want to give a huge, big, humongous shout out to all the UPK schools.
Shout out to Black Watch, hosted by General Johanna. Word, I need y'all to check out Cross the Line Radio as well, man. They've been open all week from 7 to 9. They ain't shut down because of the corona, the COVID and all that. They rockin' strong, you know what I mean?
Think we got a problem, but really it ain't though. It's one of me and these bitches, I count about 3, 4. Think we got a problem, but homie just all talk. He ain't gon' pop a balloon with a pitchfork. Nah, think we got a problem in the club with this dog. Rude boys, dogs, ladies, everybody.
Excuse me, I got a question. Somebody give me Romans 13 and 11. I have a question. It's a Ronald car, man. Give me Romans 13 and 11.
Khan, this is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Brother, you need a water? Thank you.
When Westworld.
Let's get it.
Don't be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon' make war. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit, bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in, I just break doors. Ballin' so hard, they asking what team that I play for. Scammer who? They ain't stopped making guns when they made yours. Sick with it. Feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the beast loose, what they opened up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times is what I'm made for. Paid my dues, never left a wage, I just rage war. So many chains and gold teeth, this the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Still against all enemies. In high school, you was the man that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy. Never lose control, never losing. Dog, I plan to keep you. Lose your mind where I'm from. I ain't talking from what you see. I never lost soul, losing times, wasting steady pacing. You off track, I'm on that. You pray to God, hoping He can save you. But there's power about war, and that's a different angle. This another lost cause, and I'm just adding to the list. They not seeing me for that reason. Got a flash on the grip. Nigga, big priest. They gon' judge me by my increase. And I'ma keep stepping in these joys to the increase. Just got off the phone with Jacob, and he said it's time to shine. Certified, blue dot, put it on you, now you verified. One West world, bigger than World War III. Do not sleep, it's not cheap, and it's still top 3.
So many chains and gold teeth, this the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Came on boats and then chains, so when I get rich, I'ma grab a boat and 10 chains with 12 ribs from each tribe. And each rib gonna have at least 3 kids. Yeah, I'ma have a deep squad. Been rapping since knee high. Now a nigga shack size. Spit that holy fire, when you hear it, you get baptized. One West world, yeah, you niggas know the logo. And I'ma bust it down so the haters see the glow glow. Let's have a feast, let's shine on our enemies. Right in they face, let's blind all our enemies. Cause now we half, but we come from half not. Throw that cash on the ground, my nigga, let's cast lots. I started from the bottom, birthed out of mud, raised by gangsters, turned out a thug. I ain't give a fuck, burnt out I was, from hitting licks in and out and selling nicks in the drop.
So many chains and gold teeth, this the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Hey, Shalom, Lord in Christ, Israel. This is the ISUBK. We started in 1 West, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yana. We teach that the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true children of the Bible. And that this war that's happening in Palestine, between Palestine and Israel, is meant to happen. You know what I mean? And with all these other nations are going to jump into this war too, because that is truly when our salvation begins. You know what I mean? With the destruction of these other nations. And it's imperative that we as Blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation men and women, that we come back to the Lord, meaning we start doing His commandments as per what the scripture says. You know what I mean? And the first verse I want to get into is actually 1 John 5:3. Because a lot of Christians out there, they say that they love God and this and that, you know what I mean? They love God and His people. You know what I mean? But what does it truly mean to love the Lord? And I know if you've been part of the school for a while, you know what verse I'm going to. So mostly I'm talking to people who is brand new, that's you know what I mean, that might tune into the class unexpectedly. You know what I mean? You might go watch a music video and you see ISUBK on here. You know what I mean? You click this. This is who I'm talking to. Give me 1 second. Let me bring it on my computer. Go up 1 second. All right, so. Saying the law is very important. You go ahead and start reading for me, please.
The book of 1 John chapter 5, verse 3.
Right.
For this is the love of God.
For this is the love of God. Matter of fact, can you start at verse 2 for me?
Kind sir. The book of 1 John chapter 5, verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God.
When we love the children of God. Keep going.
When we love God,
right,
and keep His commandments.
And keep His commandments. Verse 3.
For this is the love of God.
For this is the love of God. You know what I mean? Whatever your Christian pastor is telling you is love of God. You know what I mean? Just be nice to everybody. Somebody told me that, like, the only thing you got to do to love God is be nice to everybody. I said, so what else do we got to do? He says, whatever's in your mind, that's nice. I said, whatever you think, that's nice. All right. I said, all right, let's keep going.
That we keep his commandments.
Do what?
Keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments, ladies and gentlemen. That's how we know that we love God. Keep going.
And his commandments are not grievous.
And his commandments are not grievous. This thing is not hard to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not struggling out here to keep his commandments. You're just disobedient. Can you give me Romans 15:4? You're just disobedient and you want to do what your flesh tells you to do. You know what I mean? You don't want to live according to the Spirit, according to the Most High. You think you do, but you're really a liar. You can read it from when you got it.
God. The book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. Or whatsoever things were written aforetime,
right,
were written for our learning.
It was written for our learning.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures,
right,
might have hope.
That we might have hope. What was written before time was written for our learning. From Genesis to Malachi and the Apocrypha. A lot of Christians don't really read back there. You know what I mean? They say the Old Testament's done away with. So they say we don't gotta follow those old laws.
Right.
But Paul just said, but Paul was instructed by Christ. You know what I mean? Paul wrote that what was written aforetime was written for our learning. Because when Paul was teaching in these European areas, you know what I mean? Romania, Romans, Galatia, Ephesus, you know what I mean? He was using the Old Testament as a reference.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's exactly what he was doing. He wasn't reading about himself. You know what I mean? He was reading about Paul. He's reading about what Moses did. You know what I mean? He was reading about what Jacob did. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our forefathers. Read it for me one more time.
God. Or whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
It was written for our learning. Go ahead.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
And this is our hope. You know what I mean? Because what the law and the prophets speak about, they speak about salvation for Israel. You know what I mean? How do we get salvation? What's salvation for? Who's it for? It's for the children of Israel. You know what I mean? The Bible says if we keep these commandments, we'll be blessed. But if you don't, we will be cursed. Can you give me Matthew 5:17, brother? So.
God. That's a lot. So you said Matthew
5:17.
5:17.
Yeah. We're gonna run through the you know what I mean, the milk real quick. You already got it.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17.
Right.
Think not.
Go ahead.
That I am come to destroy the law or the prophets.
He didn't come to destroy the law or the prophets. Keep going.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
But to fulfill. He didn't come to destroy what Moses wrote. He didn't come to destroy what Jeremiah said, what Isaiah said, what Ezekiel said, what Daniel said. You know what I mean? Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, Zechariah. You know what I mean? He didn't come to destroy any of those, but to fulfill. 18.
For verily I say unto you,
right?
Till heaven and earth pass.
Till heaven and earth pass. We see heaven right now. We see earth right now.
Right.
You walking on earth. Earth ain't going nowhere. Keep going.
One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
Not one sentence, not one paragraph, not one word shall pass from the law. Keep going.
Till all be fulfilled.
Till all be fulfilled. 19.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of the least commandments.
The least commandments.
And shall teach men so.
And shall teach men so. So while you was going through the Christian church teach that eating pork is a least commandment. They say you don't gotta follow that. You know what I mean? They say there's bigger commandments that I'm not breaking. You know what I mean? They say, listen, I'm not fornicating out here. They said they're not committing adultery, but you eating pork. See, you think that's the least commandment. You know what I mean? And you teach men to do that, which your Christian pastor says. I mean, and does. You know what I mean? And let's read what Christ had to say about it. Keep going.
and shall teach men so,
right?
he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
He's going to be called the least. You go ahead and keep listening to your pastor. You know what I mean? You think you're going to be great when the Most High cracks the sky. It's like when Yahweh cracks the sky. You know what I mean? You think you're going to be great in this kingdom. You think you're doing something, going to church every Sunday, dancing and praying, you know what I mean? Face stomping on the ground and being hyped with the Holy Ghost and the Holy Spirit, you know what I mean? You slobbering on each other, you passing out and sweating, dancing, shout, you running around the church thinking you got the Holy Spirit, you know what I mean? But you're denying God's law. The Bible says you're going to be least in the kingdom. But here in the ISUBK, I almost got ahead of myself. Keep going.
But whosoever shall do,
right,
and teach them,
just do and teach them, right? So now now Christ is talking about a different set of people who was doing and teaching the commandments.
Right.
You know what I mean? Keep going.
The same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
The same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So now, Christians, you have a choice to make. You want to be least in the kingdom, or do you want to be great in the kingdom? When I read this, I told myself I want to be great.
Damn right.
I don't know about y'all. I don't like being mediocre. I don't like being second place to no man, especially when Christ is giving me the option to be great. You know what I mean? Be least. Slocky, we least now. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn. I'm tired of living up. I don't want to be born in poverty again. You know what I mean? I don't want to be down here struggling again. I want to be great in the kingdom. So this is why I'm making my election sure. We doing and we do the will of God, which is doing the commandments of God. You know what I mean? Can you give me Deuteronomy? And we're going to start at verse 11.
For what?
Chapter 11. Salakia.
No.
Matter of fact, Deuteronomy 28:1. We'll start there and then go back.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligent unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
right,
to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Set us high above all nations of the earth. That's if we do these commandments. The commandments that your Christian pastor is telling you not to do. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. If you guys are bold enough, right? Ask your pastor or any Christian that matters, and they say that the law is done away with, right? Ask him if you can have sex with his wife. What's he going to say? I guarantee it's going to be a no. Should be a no for me. You know what I mean? It's going to be a no. But according to you, that stuff is that the law is done away with.
Right.
You know what I mean? According to him and his knowledge. But the Most High in this verse said that if we do these commandments, that we will set us high above this earth. You know what I mean? Above all the nations. Jump down to 15 for me.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If we would not listen to the voice of thy God, you know what I mean? And it's crazy because the Bible is comparing God's voice to keeping his commandments. You know what I mean? God said this. He said this to Moses when he was on the mountain.
Right.
This is God's voice, is keeping the commandments of God. You know what I mean? Every Christian swears they talk to God. They even use their heavenly language that they call it. Ooh, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? They'll make up some mumbo jumbo like that and say God understands them and God is talking to them. But clearly, God said, if you hearken to the voice of thy God, it's in his Bible to do his commandments. Keep going.
Salakia. And his statutes, which I command thee this day,
right?
That all these cures shall come, all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Absolutely, that's definitely not a cure.
I know. Leave the cameras moving. I'm gonna go ahead and move the
All right, no problem. I see it moving. I realize I'm probably doing too much with my hands, but
I think it's the smoke from the incense.
Okay. But as Officer Call just read, you know what I mean? if you don't hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God, which means you're not doing his laws, statutes, and commandments, all these curses shall come upon you. And what's one law that I'm going to hone in tonight is idolatry. You know what I mean? Like when Moses the first law Moses got was there should be no other God before thee.
Right.
Give me Exodus chapter 19. There should be no other God before thee. You know what I mean? I'm gonna bring it on my computer as well. Exodus chapter 19. Let me go to my actual Bible real quick so I can. So I get Exodus 20, verse 1.
Exodus 20.
Yeah. Exodus 20.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
right,
out of the house of bondage.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
God, listen, the Bible just said, you should have no other gods before me. So like, y'all, I'm trying to fix the camera. He said, you shall have no other gods before me.
So like it, while you're getting that together, and if I could,
absolutely,
it's very, very heavy that being in here versus in the truth of ISUBK versus being, outside of that truth in the world is, it's very heavy that the contrast and the difference that shows as far as having other gods before, the Most High.
Right.
And, often you hear people say, things like, well, I'm gonna put God first, but yet they'll burn sage like they're serving another God. Or they'll wear, something around their neck that looks like an ankh. And those are the Egyptian gods. But yet they say they'll serve gods, but every single thing, including money, they're putting before the Most High.
Every single thing. And to why that's a heavy point. You know what I mean? Because Christians always try to say stuff like that. So like, yeah. You see the camera?
See if I'm just trying to move it, man.
If I could, there we go. This thing messes with me every time I go on this. All right, I think I'm set.
Yes, got a little bit of that.
7 cameras in there.
No, slacking for that. But yeah, like Officer Call was saying, you know what I mean? Christians always like to say they doing this for God, you know what I mean? Read that verse for me again. 21.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1.
So like it's verse 3.
Verse 3.
Right.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
No other gods before me. Now we go to Deuteronomy chapter 11 and 22. 11 and 22, man.
Sir, I'm there now.
I'm grabbing my computer. You go ahead and start, Sloppy.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 22.
Right.
For if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments, which I command you.
Right. The Bible just said if you would diligently keep them, you know what I mean? Go look up what diligently means, you know what I mean? In your free time, diligently means do it earnestly, you know what I mean? Keep going.
To do them, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him.
Right, 23.
Then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you.
Right.
And ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves.
Right. So at this time when Israel first was becoming a nation, you know what I mean? We were somewhat nomads. You know what I mean? We was going out. We crossed that river, you know what I mean? And God sent us to go and take over these other lands that was not doing the most. He said that's for our possession.
Right.
You know what I mean? For nations far greater and mightier than us. We were the smallest nation at the time. You know what I mean? We just started establishing ourselves inside the wilderness.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? It was inside the world that's getting these laws and trying to make ourselves a great nation. The Most High says if we do these laws, statutes, and commandments, that we will conquer them greater and mightier than us at that time. And that same goes for today. You know what I mean? The Most High has made us conquerors. If we serve the Most High by doing his laws, statutes, and commandments, we can go out and whatever is blocking you, you know what I mean? Like, there might be somebody that's in slavery that's kicking you off, you know what I mean? Or there might be somebody that's picking on you. The Most High says that we can conquer people that's greater and mighty than us. All you have to do is serve the Most High God. Keep going.
God. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours.
Hold on. Do y'all realize how deep that is? The Most High just said, everywhere our feet, on the soles of our feet tread, will be ours. Now, compare that to Christianity when they tell you don't keep the law. You know what I mean? And then we go back to Deuteronomy and God's telling you something like this. Now, imagine everywhere you walk is yours. You know, everywhere you walk, doesn't matter where you go. God says, wherever the soles of your feet touch, that's yours. Should we read that from the top?
God. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 24. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours.
Right.
From the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river Euphrates,
right,
even unto the uttermost sea shall be a Salakia, shall your coast be.
Exactly. And that's why it's important that we serve the Most High. Serve the Most High. He's not saying this for nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Most High is not making stuff up. These aren't empty promises that the Most High is trying to give us. You know what I mean? He says we serve the Most High everywhere we go. Everywhere our feet tread, it shall be ours. Keep going.
25.
Right.
There shall no man be able to stand before you.
Hold on. Bible just said no man's going to be able to stand before us. So no matter how big somebody is, no matter if somebody lift weights, you know what I mean? Care how good of a fighter you think he is, how much money they got, you know what I mean? Because that's what people base power on now, how much money you got. You know what I mean? You think you got a lot of money, you think you rule the world. You know what I mean? But the Most High said, no, none of that matter. You know what I mean? Read it from the top again.
Come. Verse 25. There shall no man be able to stand before you.
No man's going to stand before us, man. Stand before you. Go ahead.
For the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that ye shall tread upon.
I'm trying to tell y'all, man, serve the Most High. You'll keep these commandments. Listen, forget what your Christian pastor just told you.
Right.
Man, you walk around and everybody's looking at you like we better obey it.
Right.
That's power. This is power. What the Most High is talking about, this is power. Read it for me again. I love this verse.
From the top?
Yes, sir.
Come. There shall no man be able to stand before you.
Exactly.
For the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land.
Damn, it's going to be inside their head, man. You gonna walk up to them and they're gonna fear you. That's how I want to be respected. You know what I mean? Right. Feared. I want to be feared. I don't know about y'all. You know what I mean? I'm not doing this to be liked by everybody. You know what I mean? Christ says that the world hated him, the world's gonna hate us. And They should hate me. Listen, man, I don't give a damn if they hate me. I want them to hate me. I want more enemies. You know what I mean? Because you have enemies that make you grow stronger. You know what I mean? Keep you on your toes. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land.
Upon all the land.
That ye shall tread upon.
Damn.
As he hath said unto you.
Right. 26.
Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse.
Right. The Most High just said he set upon us a blessing and a curse. As Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we know the curses all too well. I know most of us grew up in poverty. You know what I mean? Most of us have a horrible backstory.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether it be rape, molestation, drugs, violence, murder, theft, you know what I mean? Homelessness. We've all been through that shit. We know the curses all too well. Let's work towards some of the blessings. You know what I mean? And that's what we're doing here in the ISUPK. We're making sure we get these blessings. You know what I mean? Because when I first learned about the truth, I didn't all the way accept it. To be real with y'all, I didn't accept the truth right away when I first heard it. I was out in the world just doing random shit. You know what I mean? Thinking God is with me, and he's not. I got into like 3 car accidents when I was in the world. Right? Yeah, 3 of them. You know what I mean? Fell asleep behind the wheel, niggas hitting me and shit. You know what I mean? It wasn't pretty. I said, listen, I'm gonna stop playing with my life like this.
Right.
I know where I'm supposed to be at. I know where I'm supposed to be. So I got in class, I stopped messing around, I got my name, now I became an officer. You know what I mean? Because I know the Most High was calling me like, listen, when you survive 3 car accidents, listen, Most High is with you. You go to verse 28 for me.
Verse 28.
Right?
And a curse, if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day,
right,
to go after other gods, which ye have not known. And it shall come to pass.
Oh, slack it 1 second. My camera's messing up again.
No sweat.
Yeah, man. This thing always happens to me every time I start this. Slack it. Can you read it from the top for me? While I fix this.
Verse 28. And a curse, if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods,
right,
which ye have not known. And it shall come to pass, when the Lord thy God hath brought thee in and unto the land whither thou goest to possess it,
right,
that thou shalt put the blessing upon Mount Gerizim, and the curse upon Mount Ebal.
Slack, you good. That was just 28. Did you 28?
Concert.
All right.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, that was 28.
All right. Hey, slack it to the chat. I'm trying to fix the computer right now. My fault. This thing messing up with me. Slack it, y'all.
Yeah, that camera's going off today.
I know, man. This thing bugging. It's on that Molly. Slack it, y'all. And I appreciate everybody in the chat that's hopping in with me tonight. Liz Nisha, Shirai Yapar, Officer Dasi, and just our payments. Shout out to the chat. All right, can you read from verse 28 for me again? Marcus Shaw.
Concert. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 28. And a curse, if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day,
right,
to go after other gods, which ye have not known. And it shall come to pass.
Like you go right there.
Concert.
And gods which that we have not known. Don't serve no other gods. Give me Deuteronomy 12. Deuteronomy verse 12.
Salaki, if I could.
Yeah.
This is something that I used to think about, and when I was, young,
right?
My rib had mentioned this as well. She used to say things like, I used to think the same thing, like, man, if we were to, the Israelites, because we ain't know, like we seen all these miracles, all this stuff, like, man, if we would have done, the right thing, this, that, and the fourth. And a lot of people think that aren't in the truth, but yet and still, the Lord laid out all these things that we could have done.
Right.
Like for the children of Israel to know that they could be the greatest,
Mm-hmm.
and they still chose to lay with the other nations, still chose to serve other gods that were fake. I can completely understand why it's so hard to wake up our brothers and sisters now, because they see the heathen and they're just enamored by him.
I know, man.
They want, like, it irks me when I see somebody doing something that's like a heathen is doing something that's like mild compared to how, you know, we do it. And they, just because it's close to something we do, they're on this job, on our job.
Yeah, it's just like that's like black people say Eminem is the greatest rapper. Eminem is trash. Facts. I don't care what else got to say. You know what I mean? His music sucks and his music is gay. I mean, he be saying some weird stuff in there.
God, does. And I'm in Deuteronomy 12. What was the verse?
Oh, we're going to start at verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 12, verse 1.
Yep.
These are the statutes and the judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land, which the Lord God of thy fathers giveth thee to possess it, all the days that ye live upon the earth.
Right. Verse 2.
Ye shall utterly destroy all the places.
We should do what?
Utterly destroy all the places.
Right.
Wherein the nations which ye shall possess serve their gods.
Right. Hold on right there. So the Most High instructed Israel that whenever we went out to these other nations, whatever we go out there and do, after we conquered them, that we should destroy their places where they serve their gods. Keep that in mind. Keep going.
God. Upon the high mountains.
Right.
And upon the hills.
Okay.
And under every green tree.
Verse 3.
And ye shall overthrow their altars and break their pillars.
Right.
And burn their groves with fire.
Keep going.
And ye shall hew down the graven images of their gods, and destroy the names of them out of that place.
Boom. Most High said that when we go to these other nations and we conquer them, to destroy everything where they serve their gods. So listen, when the Most High comes back, you know what I mean? We are supposed to burn down every mosque, every Christian church. We're going to burn Allah. You know what I mean? We're going to burn down Caesar Borgia. Is that how to say his name? Borgia. Every portrait of Caesar Borgia is going to be burned and put into the shredder.
Right.
Every African god that you think is going to come and save your life, we're going to burn it to the ground. Every Roman god, whether you like Zeus, Hades, or whoever else you want to serve, the Most High gave us the command to burn it to ground. You know what I mean? Wherever you are and wherever you're at. Verse 4.
Verse 4. Ye shall not do so unto the Lord your God. Verse 5. But unto the place which the Lord your God shall choose out of all your tribes to put his name there, even unto his habitation shall ye seek, and thither thou shalt come.
Salakia.
We stopped at verse 6.
All right. There was another point where I wanted to go, verse 12. Maybe that was it. Verse 12 and 1. Let's go to verse 13 then. Chapter 13. See, we're talking, so now we're going to get into we're talking about idolatry right now. You know what I mean? And what we're going to do with these false gods and these false idols that we come into. The Most High says we're going to burn it to the ground. 13 and 1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13, verse 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams,
right,
and giveth thee a sign or a wonder,
go ahead,
and the sign or the wonder come to pass, wherefore he spake unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known,
right,
and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet.
Right. The Most High says we should not listen to that prophet. You know what I mean? Anybody trying to get you to serve a different God, the Bible says you do not listen to them.
Right.
What's coming up next? What's a holiday that's coming up next that people are going to try to get you to go to?
4th of July.
Yeah, you funny as shit. You know,
Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas, exactly. Christmas is coming up. Your family's going to be like, yo, man, we got a Christmas party.
Right.
Come down and celebrate with us. What you going to tell them, Paul? You going to tell them yes?
La.
You going to go there for the food?
La.
Absolutely.
If I could,
Mm-hmm.
I have some friends of mine in the world, and every year they have a party around around the winter time. And
this camera is off the chain, bro.
But you know, long story short, they have a Christmas, or excuse me, they have a winter party. But they have done things to try to like make it to where it's more suitable.
Right.
And me and my rib were gonna show up, but I'm just not comfortable. Like you can just choose if you could just choose to have a party anytime, why choose it on the oppressor's largest holidays? Like I no longer understand that. And when I say these things to people in the world, they're saying, well, this is the only time I'm off. You're off during the weekend.
Absolutely.
A lot of you are at a time and an age where you have a good job. You can throw a Saturday, night party. A lot of us don't work on Sundays. I know y'all not going to church
at all.
You got Buddha, in your backyard, so you're not a Christian.
Excellent point.
So why decide to serve the heathen holidays? Why celebrate the slaughter of the North American Indians?
I don't get it. Listen, I feel you on that. When I first heard about the truth about Thanksgiving, I was like, I ain't doing this ever again.
You know what I mean? Like, our friends in the world, they don't care. They like, man, later for the Native Americans, I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna eat this turkey.
They bugging for real, man.
Like if I could.
Yeah, keep going.
Out of the blue, me and my rib, and I rarely go to the grocery store with my rib, right? Because our methods of shopping is 2 different ways. My rib, she likes to look around at stuff. I get in, I get out. I'm a man. I'm a man's man. Like I get in, I get out. I know what I want. I know where the aisles are.
Exactly.
But my rib, she likes to, search around. So we going past, and I see all this lamb, in the meat section, and out of nowhere, we just decided just do up all this lamb. My son is happy because he loves steak and lamb.
Right.
So we just did that. We had, a little family dinner, but it was more lamb than we normally make. But I'm just thinking, I had enough. I had to go to my parents' house. But what I'm thinking is, and what that statement is, anytime you want to just, I'm going to have some friends and family over. We just going to get up. We going to drink. Like, for instance, officers arrive a car.
Right.
He'll throw out to us, hey, I'm having a little get together, kick back at my house. Come through. And it's just out the blue.
Right.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
Exactly.
And then on the holy convocations that the Lord has set apart for you, do those too.
Exactly.
Especially since it's been commanded. But don't go ahead and decide to, worship the oppressor on their day after they've slaughtered your brothers and sisters. If I could, one last thing.
Yeah.
Our people are messed up. The Native Americans are messed up. So instead of actually celebrating their demise, the ISUPK goes out and we help our brothers and sisters. And we just did that in New York. Absolutely. That's the difference between being in the world and being here. So
exactly, man. Because you were spitting facts right there.
Most high Christ.
You know what I mean? Especially with this stuff when people take off for the holidays. Like niggas got, they don't ever call for work. Right. So I know you got some. Well, at my job, we got something called PTO, paid time off.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know them niggas got at least 3 days worth of PTO.
Right.
You know what I mean? They can go take off, and the crazy part is they'll take off for random stuff.
If they got a party they want to go to, they'll excuse me, I can't make it in.
Shit, niggas call out just because.
Right.
Just because they don't feel like coming in. Like me. That's what I do. Right. I don't feel like coming. I'm calling out.
I think you're too hot now.
Solid. You know what I mean? But that just shows you their level of devotion to the world rather than to the Most High.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's all it is. Where we stop at?
Let me see. I believe we stopped at We went to Deuteronomy 13.
Right. We on 4.
Dreamer of dreams. Other God, I remember the last part it said, they tell you to go after other gods,
Verse 5. I think we're on 5.
concert. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death.
Damn.
Because he hath spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God.
What's a famous dreamer of dreams that the ISUBK knows all too well?
Right. Martin Luther King.
Absolutely. Put to death. Boy got shot in the head. R.I.P. You know what I mean? But man, because his dream was is a straight up nightmare. Mike, you laughing? You laughing at me? R.I.P. You know what I mean? That's all it goes.
Lock it. Good.
Uh-huh.
His dream definitely was a nightmare.
Exactly.
And people will pay so much attention to him saying he had a dream about this and that, holding hands, being at peace. And number one, when Martin Luther King was doing all that, Black people didn't even like him doing that.
At all.
They called him a rebel rouser. Number two, he said he felt like he was leading us into a burning building and nobody talks about that.
Nobody.
The same person that said he wanted to kind of lead us into this interracial promised land realized at the end it was a burning building. Now he's a martyr.
I know, right?
And we literally take hold of this idea of this peacefulness that we can have. And it gets us to a place almost to where we're like, we think that we should hold on to what America could be rather than what it is.
Exactly.
We're going to keep doing that for 100 more years if God won't come back and help us out.
Listen, that's why the ISUBK is here, to wake us up from the truth.
Damn right.
So ain't no pastor talking about, listen, when you first read, I have a dream, and then you read in the Bible where it's talking about prophets who say they have a dream.
Right.
Like those two go together, man. Like, you can't just not look at it and not compare it. Because we think about what Martin Luther really did. It was really tragic. Because now Black people are fighting for Black businesses when we had Black businesses back in the 70s.
Right.
In the 60s. You know what I mean? We had all that stuff together. And I remember I was talking to my biological father, right? I was telling him about this and how I felt about it. And he goes, you know what, Jay? We can't do nothing without white people. Yeah. I was so disappointed in my father. Now, I knew he was a Christian, but I did not expect him to say, I am not expecting him to be that high level coonery. You know what I mean? And that's just honestly what I gotta call it, because I was just so like shocked. You know what I mean? That a Black man would say something like that. You know what I mean? This is something I look up to. You know what I mean? My father, like, damn, we can't do nothing. He said we can't do nothing without white people. That's a shot to the heart, man. I was like in my early 20s when he first said that to me. And I have never forgot to this day. But
that's deep.
I know. Anyway, let's keep continuing on. We only got to go to my backstory all night.
Because he has spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God,
right,
which brought you out of the land of Egypt,
exactly,
and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust thee out of the way, which the Lord thy God commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee. Verse 6. If thy brother, thy son of thy mother, or thy son or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul, entice thee secretly, saying,
hold on. Now listen, Moses and God, they just gave out a whole list of people to look out for. This is people, your family and your friends. You know what I mean? It's people that you cool with. He said, if one of them comes secretly to you, trying to entice you. Now, we all know what entice means. You know what I mean? Like, they trying to game you up. You know what I mean? Keep going. Secretly, too. I mean, they doing it with some sneak type shit. You know what I mean? They ain't being straightforward with it. They be sneaky with it. Keep going.
Entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known. Thou, nor thy fathers, namely of the gods of the people which are round about you, nigh unto thee, or far off from thee,
right?
From the one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth.
Exactly. Now, imagine this, right? December 25th is coming up. Your family, your grandma calls you on the phone and says, listen, son, listen, daughter, I'm not feeling good. You coming down for December 25th or Christmas Eve, whichever one, you know what I mean? Or fuck it, what's January? New Year's Day is coming up too. They all go together. You know what I mean? She's coming to you secretly trying to entice you. You know what I mean? She's going to use those kind of methods to come get you to come to their heathen day, you know, to celebrate with them. They're going to try you, man. These people are going to try you. And this is what the Most High is warning us about. You know what I mean? We're talking about idolatry tonight, serving other gods. If you go and celebrate Christmas, you're serving another God. You know what I mean? The Bible says, be careful of them. Keep going.
Thou shalt not consent unto him,
right?
Nor hearken unto him.
Bible says don't consent unto them. You know what I mean? We all know what give consent means. Permission. You know what I mean? Man, cut that shit off right away.
Right.
Do not let them get in your ear telling you come do this and come do that. Christmas is a heathen practice. You know what I mean? It can go from Nimrod. It can go from what the Romans did. They called it Saturnalia, which was a giant orgy party. You know what I mean? All that evil wickedness comes with Christmas. You know what I mean? They come to you trying to get you to go. Don't go. Don't go. Don't go. Keep going.
Neither shall thine eye pity him.
Right.
Neither shalt thou spare. Neither shalt thou conceal him.
Right. So we're getting into it. I mean, brother, get into a judgment that the Most High wants the people of Israel to do. So just don't your eye pity them. You know what I mean? Don't feel bad for them. Don't hide them either. Just because your brother came to you talking about, yo, man, I got a Christmas present for you. You coming down? Say, hell no. You know what I mean? And the Bible says don't hide them either. Don't hide nobody who does that. Let's read on. Verse 9.
Verse 9.
Right?
But thou shalt surely kill him.
To do what?
Kill him.
Do what?
Kill him.
Most High said kill him. He said surely kill him. Listen, man. Thank the Most High that Christ came and gave us grace.
Right.
I'd be dead right now because before I had my name changed, I celebrated Christmas. You know what I mean? I'd be dead right now. You would probably be dead too. But the Most High gave us grace. And now that we know better, we got to do better. We cannot serve no other God. You know what I mean? Because once Christ comes back and our laws come back and God starts making us the rulers of this world, do y'all think this law will not be in place? You know what I mean? You think this law was not going to happen? Keep going.
Thine hand shall be first upon him.
Damn.
To put him to death.
Bible says your hand is going to be first upon him, put him to death.
And afterwards, the hand of all the people.
The hand of all the people, nigga. You got to be careful out here. Let somebody come to you talking about let's celebrate Christmas on the sneak tip. You know what I mean? Bible says don't conceal him. Bible says you're going to be the first to lay hands on him. And then everybody's coming after you. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Verse 10. And thou shalt stone him with stones, that he die.
That he die. Listen, man, the Most High is kind of scary if you really think about it, man. This is why he said you have to fear the Most High and fear his commandments. He don't want to see us get stoned to death, man. You know what I mean? The Bible says the Lord is a jealous God. All right? He's a jealous God. You know why he's jealous? Imagine that you're the person that is the hero, right? So you save somebody from getting shot, from getting killed, from getting robbed. You know what I mean? And they go and they give the credit to somebody else. You know what I mean? that's a right to that's a real reason to be pissed off.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a good reason to be pissed off. You're gonna give the glory to somebody else after I did all these things for you, after I brought you out of the land of Egypt. I sent those plagues on Egypt. I killed Egypt's firstborn son. He had us walking through the Red Sea. Was it? Slacker, it was the Red Sea, right? He had us walking through the Red Sea. And then when he seen the Egyptians come after us, he swallowed them up in the river. And you're gonna go give your credit to somebody else? You got to die. That's it, man. Keep going.
Because he hath sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy God.
Exactly, because his loyalty was not to the Most High. You know what I mean? He's trying to turn you away from the Most High. And listen, the more I read the Old Testament, and I'm starting to understand how God really thinks. You know what I mean? It might sound cruel that he's saying to kill you got to kill your brother because he broke the law. You know what I mean? But he's trying to turn you away from him, the one who gives you life and death. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage.
Uh-huh.
And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among you.
Exactly. So now you're going to be an example of what not to do. Listen, man. I thank Yahweh Shah for grace. I really do.
Right.
Most of us will be dead by now. Just keep going.
Verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
If thou shalt hear, say in one of the cities, which the Lord thy God hath given thee to dwell there, saying, certain men, the children of Belial, are gone out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which ye have not known.
See, now we went from just your family to tell you, you know what I mean? We're talking about your family from telling you. Now we're talking about the whole city's going out to go do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? The whole city is going out to go and say, let's serve other gods.
Mm.
You know what I mean? This is why idolatry is important, man. The Most High said, there shall no other God be before me. You gotta keep going. Yeah, question.
If I could.
Yeah.
This just shows you how imperative it was to keep what the Lord was saying in these verses, because just imagine if we are in a situation where we're fine, we're ruling, and then what other people are doing as far as sin is concerned is going to have us in captivity, where we got to get shot by the cops every day, where our children are in danger. They're going to school and they have all this stuff happening with the LGBT, and then like all these curses that have come upon us. Like, imagine if we would just done what the Lord said. That's why this is heavy. Like a whole city.
The whole city.
That's heavy.
Oh, it gets worse for them. Keep going.
Which ye have not known. Then shalt thou inquire and make search and ask diligently, and behold, if it be true. And the certain, and the thing certain that such abomination is wrought among you.
Right, hold on, Slakia. So what that verse is saying, right? So let's read it from 13, Slakia.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 13 and verse 13.
Right.
Certain men, the children of Belial, are gone out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city.
Right.
Saying, let us go and serve other gods which ye have not known.
Right. So the children of Belial or Belial, I don't know these crazy words, you know what I mean? Salakia for the pronunciation. But if you have yourself a Zondervan Bible dictionary, right? It says Belial is let me find it real quick. Belial. I know I had this on bookmark. Here it is. Belial. It says in the Old Testament, a word meaning worthlessness, wickedness, and lawlessness, right? So the Most High is calling these the children of nothingness. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Then shalt thou inquire and make search and ask diligently, and behold, if it be true.
Right. So now we're going to go out. So we heard about this whole city that's trying to serve another God, right? So the Most High is going to send soldiers down there to go figure out what's happening. We're going to find out the truth of the matter. Keep going.
And the thing certain that such abomination is wrought among you,
right?
Thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city.
The Most High says we will surely smite the inhabitants of that city. So if that whole city decides to go out and celebrate Christmas, you know what I mean, this coming 25th. Listen, if it was back in Deuteronomy times, the whole city would have been done for it. Keep going.
With the edge of the sword.
With the edge of the sword, right?
Destroying it utterly. And all that is therein, and the cattle thereof, with the edge of the sword.
That means, right? I know it's tough, right? That means all the animals. You know what I mean? The cows, the chickens, the lambs, the goats, whatever animal you got inside there. You know what I mean? Including you, that wanted to serve this other God, is going to be killed by the sword, right? Keep going.
Verse 16.
Right?
And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shalt burn with fire the city, and all the spoil thereof every whit, for the Lord thy God, and it shall be in heat forever.
It shall be in heat forever, man. Lord said we're going to burn that city to the ground. It's going to be in heat forever. Let everybody know what not to do. You know what I mean? Let everybody know that when December 25th comes around, ain't nobody going to be, it's like I know the camera is bugging. You know what I mean? It's not out of control, man. You know what I mean? Lord knows that all right. It says, verse 16, he's going to burn it all to the ground. You know what I mean? The water. There we go. That's good. That's too wild. Yeah. No, it's camera off. Like, this camera not me. It's not cooperating with me tonight, man. Yeah, pocket. And also it said in that verse, it says all the spoil that's in it. So all the money that they made from Christmas, you know what I mean, December 25th, all the money that they made, you know what I mean, it's all going to go into the sun. It's going to be burned down, man. And did you read the last part of it? Where it said it should be never built again?
Concert.
Right. And
it shall be in heat forever. It shall not be built again.
And it should not be built again, man. It's going to be a big ass gravestone and a reminder for all Israel not to serve that God ever again. Let's go to we're going to go to 1 Corinthians in chapter 10, start at verse 6. You know what I mean? Listen, y'all, I'm telling you, idolatry, the Most High is not playing with us when it comes to idolatry. You know what I mean? He said he's a jealous God. Don't get on God's bad side for real, right? Verse 10. All right, let's start at verse 6.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 6. You said chapter 6?
10.
Chapter 10.
Verse 6. Are you straight?
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 6. Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things.
Right. We should not lust after evil things. We see what these other nations are getting.
Right.
You know what I mean? What they celebrate. And we're going to use these examples from the Old Testament. Now, we read Romans 15:4, where how the Old Testament is for our knowledge. You know what I mean? And the Most High is given to us so we won't do them. This is why it's written down for us. Keep going.
To the intent we should not lust after evil things, right, as they also lusted. Neither be ye idolaters,
right,
as were some of them. As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play.
Right. Now, do y'all know where that was first said at? Let me give y'all a minute to make. Y'all know where that's first said at. If you don't know, that was first written in the book of Exodus. You know what I mean? When Moses went to go get when Moses went up to Mount Sinai to get the commandments of the Lord. You know what I mean? His brother Aaron had to make a golden calf, told the people to make a golden calf because they was looking for Moses.
Right.
There was like, where is this man Moses? He's been up in the mountain forever. You know what I mean? They thought something happened to him. So Aaron told them to give me all your gold. He took the gold out of their earrings, their nose rings, out their teeth, around their neck. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? They took all that gold and he melted it down and he made a golden calf. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, let's just get it. Exodus. Let's go to Exodus 32. Let me bring it up for y'all real quick. Bring up my Bible.
Start at verse 1.
1 second. I gotta get there and see where I want to go at. Yeah, let's start at verse 1.
The book of Exodus, chapter 32 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount,
Right.
the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods.
Right. They said, listen, the people told Aaron to make us gods. And this is after Christ, this is after the Most High just brought them out of the land of Egypt. You know what I mean? He up in the mountain. He just got done killing all the Egyptians and saving them from their slavery.
Right.
He said, make us gods. You know what I mean? They wasn't satisfied. Keep going.
Which shall go before us. For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him.
Right.
And Aaron said unto them, Break off the golden earrings, which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me.
Yeah, verse 5.
Verse 5. And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it. And Aaron made proclamation and said, Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play.
So then these niggas, our ancestors had a whole celebration to a golden calf. You know what I mean? To a golden calf.
And tried to say it was for the Lord.
Right. That's
like they do with Christmas.
Exactly. That sounds good. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? I was like, let's go in there. You cannot have an idol and a heathen custom, right? And put God's name in front of it and think you're serving the Most High.
Right.
Those two do not mix. As you can clearly see, this is what Aaron tried to do. You know what I mean? He tried to put this in. This is the God. He put up a golden calf, right? He put up a golden calf. He said, this is the God that we have that gave us out of Egypt. You know what I mean? How the people out there dancing and singing, you know what I mean? Eating all to a golden calf. Now let's go back to 1 Corinthians 10.
Sir, one moment.
We start at 7, all right? 10 and 7.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 7. Neither be ye idolaters, as were some of them, as it is written. The people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play.
Right.
That's cool.
I know, right? So I try to do a little bit, man.
That is a good one.
So now we know who Paul was writing about. He's talking about Israelites. And we said these people are going to be examples for us to not to do. You know what I mean? Let's jump down to 14. Let me get in my Bible real quick.
You said verse 14?
Yes, kind of. It's like, yeah, I made a mistake. Go down to let's go to 13 actually.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 13.
Right.
There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
Right. So when somebody comes to you and says, let's celebrate Christmas, the Most High just said that there is no temptation that is common, that is uncommon to man. Is that how it says? That is common to man, right? So what you're going through isn't nothing new. You know what I mean? People pressuring you to celebrate idols. They want to get you to do things against the Most High. This is nothing new. Keep going.
But God is faithful,
right?
Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape.
Exactly. You're not going to be tempted above your means.
Right.
So whatever you're going through, if you fold to that demon, you just weak. That's all. That's all that means. Because the Most High just says he's not going to tempt you. Read that verse again. If I mess it up.
No sweat, sir. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
Right.
But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
He's not gonna be separate so that you can be able, man. You can handle that. You know what I mean? You can handle with heathen women flirting at you. You can handle that. Or any woman at that, you know what I mean? A married woman comes up to you and says they want you. You have the strength to reject her. Somebody offers you to smoke weed or do some type of drug, you can reject that. If you accept it, it means you wanted to do it. That's all. You have a choice. You can stop going to Christmas parties. Ain't that strong of a demon. You know what I mean? Christ just said there's a way of escape for you. You got a way of escape. You can get out of it. That's why there's no excuse for any sin. No excuse. Keep going.
But will with the temptation also make a way to escape.
Yeah, like I just said. I mean, slack it. I gotta learn myself. Make a way of escape for you. You know what I mean? Don't fold. Don't fold to that demon. Keep going.
That ye may be able to bear it.
You'll be able to bear it, man. It's simple. It's light work. Christ, we read in 1 John 5:3. He said his commandments are not grievous. You'll be all right. 14.
Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry.
It says flee from idolatry. You know what I mean? I know the holiday season's coming up, and you might look at all the lights and all your family getting together. Now, I mean, Christ said flee from idolatry. Run from it. You know what I mean? Don't be like the Christians. They're not running from idolatry. They're running to it. They're running away. They're running to it. You know what I mean? Don't care about the scripture. Don't care about God. Verse 18.
Verse 18. Behold, Israel after the flesh. Are not they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar?
Keep going.
What say I then? That the idol is anything, or that which is offered in a sacrifice to idols is anything?
Right.
But I say that the thing which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to God.
Right. So this December 25th, January 1st, the New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, whatever you want to call it, they're sacrificing to devils. You know what I mean? That's just, I don't know how more plainly the Most High has to put it for some of us. They're sacrificing to a devil and not to God. The Bible says they're not doing it for God. You know what I mean? Listen, go take that scripture to your grandma. Say, Grandma, listen, you're sacrificing to a devil. Because everybody knows Christ isn't born December 25th. You know what I mean? Everybody knows about his birthday. They do it anyway. Keep going.
Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord.
So I can finish 20.
Oh, Salakia. And I would not have ye should have fellowship with devils.
Don't have fellowship with devils. Listen, the Most High just said, what Paul just said, you celebrate Christmas with your family, you call them devils. Keep going.
So we're on 21.
Yes, come.
And copy that verse. Salakia.
No problem.
Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord,
right?
And the cup of devil.
Listen, you can't take a sip out the cup of the Lord and a cup of the devil, man. You have to make a choice. You can't have both, man. You can't have it your way.
So honestly, sir, I'm gonna have to drop this one on somebody ASAP. And I know this is fire.
No problem, man. Hey, all right, keep going.
Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils.
Listen, you can't have it both ways, man. You have to pick a side. And this is why the Most High says, I give you this day a blessing and a curse. We are Israelites. We have to follow the law. We don't have a choice like these other nations. These heathens out here, these Edomites, Amalek, Moab, Ham, they can do whatever the hell they want to do. But not the children of God, not the blacks, Hispanics, the First Nation men and women. We don't have that option. It's either serve God or die. And we're dying because we'd rather be in fellowship with the devil than to be at the table with the Most High. Verse 22.
Verse 22. Do we provoke the Lord to jealousy?
Are we going to provoke God to jealousy this 25th? Do not, listen, the 25th is coming up. Do not provoke God to jealousy. You know what I mean? Don't do it. If you want to visit your family so bad, do it now. You know what I mean? Don't go on there December 25th talking about, I just miss you. You know what I mean? Do it now. Call them right now and say, listen, Mom, I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't talked to you. You know what I mean? I'm just saying hi. That's it. That's it. Don't tell them Merry Christmas, none of that bullshit. You know what I mean? Don't say Merry Christmas to them, Happy Holidays, nothing. You know what I mean? You tell them I don't serve that stuff.
Right.
But I'm just calling this to say hi, I love you. You know what I mean? If you feel so compliant just to see them on the 25th, you know what I mean? Just do it before then. Don't do it after. Right? You know what I mean? You don't have to do this on the holidays. Like also what Carl was bringing out. You don't have to do it on the same day that these heathens is doing it. You don't have to do it then. You can get somebody a gift any day of the week, any day of the month. You know what I mean? You get together any day of the week, any day of the month. Did you finish 22?
Lie, sir.
All right.
Are we stronger than he?
Are we stronger than God? We all know that. And from our last scripture, we're going to 2 Corinthians 5 and 11. 2 Corinthians
5 and 11.
Come on. Let me get there on my computer real quick.
Sir.
2 Corinthians. All right, go ahead.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 5, verse 11.
Right.
Knowing therefore the terror of the Lord, we persuade men.
And that's all I'm here to tell y'all about, man. Is the terror of the Lord.
Right.
Like, if you somebody who knows the Bible, if you know somebody who knows the Bible and understands the Lord, you know what I mean? We're here to warn you of the terror of God. You know what I mean? That do not celebrate these evil holidays that's coming up, man. Don't do it. You know what I mean? We just read that when you have this temptation that the Lord is not going to put something that's too strong for you to bear. You know what I mean? That you cannot just not do it. You know what I mean? That you cannot just do it. All right. With that being said, I'm going to pass the class over to the priest and officer for all.
Excellent class. Excellent class. All right. This is the ISUPK security announcements. New rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Next, we have tithes, which is a commandment. You can find that in Numbers 18 and 21, and also Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Sidebar, I know a lot of y'all were in church. You paid money to your pastor. Your pastor had a Mercedes Benz. That's not what we do with the tithes here. We go out and we feed the sheep, our brothers and our sisters. Tithes in Hebrew which is ma'ashara, which means a tenth in Hebrew. It is 10% of every penny of any increase to the Lord that the Lord gives you. Also, we have a priest fund. It is not mandatory. It is a free will offering. If you would like to donate or bring in a bottle, we will greatly appreciate that. Again, it is not mandatory, but it is greatly appreciated. Up and coming holy convocations, as some of us know, we are in the Feast of Dedication, which is Hanukkah. That started on the 7th, and the closing of that feast will be on Salaki. Is that the 15th? Let me see. The space of 8 days. So I believe it's on the 15th, which is Friday, right? We're closing the feast out. Go ahead, go to your nearest ISUPK school if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American, and join us and, you know, keeping that holy convocation. That is it for the announcements. If there's a brother that's interested in becoming a trooper, remember to wear all black boots, all black war scarf, headband, pants, shirt. And with that being said, men of Israel, Amijah, which means to stand. Amijah Shabbat, Amijah Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatham, Yajimata. We're going to start, which means turn. We're going to give the sisters a courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amijah Shabbat, Amijah Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alatham Hashem Yahushua, Yajimata. Class dismissed. Awesome.